September 17, 1944. In the Dutch city of Arnhem, 12-year-old boys are running through the streets, pointing at the sky. They aren't looking at enemy bombers. They're looking at thousands of white canopies drifting across the afternoon sun. For the first time in 4 years, people step out from behind closed curtains. They wave Dutch flags they've kept hidden since 1940. Some cry, some laugh. They genuinely believe they are watching the final days of the war. They are not. The Allies have drawn up a massive strategy to end World War II by Christmas 1944. To do it, they need to capture a specific chain of 9 bridges across the Netherlands. They will capture 8 of them. The 9th bridge at Arnhem will hold. And because it holds, the war will continue for 8 more agonizing months. To understand how this happened, you have to look at how September 1944 actually felt. The Allies had just liberated Paris. German armies were retreating, and American troops were rapidly approaching Germany. British newspapers talked openly about soldiers being home by Christmas. Capitalizing on this momentum, Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery proposed a bold strategy. Instead of attacking along a wide front, he wanted a single, powerful strike straight through the Netherlands, across the Rhine, into Germany's industrial heartland. The operation had 2 parts. First was market. The Allies would drop more than 35,000 airborne troops deep behind enemy lines, at Eindhoven, Nijmegen, and Arnhem. Second was garden. A heavy armored column would race north along a single highway, linking up with those airborne pockets to secure the route. The entire success of the operation relied on securing the final bridge at the end of this logistical chain, Arnhem. By design, the plan required moving a massive army up one narrow road on a rigid, inflexible timetable. There was absolutely zero margin for error. At first, the plan seemed to hold together. American paratroopers successfully captured key bridges in the south near Eindhoven. Dutch civilians welcomed them as liberators, offering food to soldiers right in the streets. Then reality intervened. Several Allied intelligence officers had analyzed aerial photographs and spotted German armored units near the Arnhem drop zones. The warnings reached senior commanders. They were dismissed. The intelligence reports were accurate. 2 experienced SS Panzer divisions were resting near Arnhem, recovering from fighting in France. The Allies dropped their troops directly on top of them. Almost immediately, tactical breakdowns cascaded. Radios stopped working, leaving units completely separated. German resistance stiffened. The single road supporting the entire Allied advance became clogged with traffic, where a single destroyed vehicle could halt everything behind it. The bottleneck paralyzed the advance. Out of an operation built around 35,000 airborne troops, only 1 British battalion, 700 men, actually made it to the bridge at Arnhem. Lieutenant Colonel John Frost commanded those 700 men. Reaching the bridge on the evening of September 17th, his unit secured the northern end. They expected armor to relieve them within hours. The reinforcements never arrived. German tanks rolled into the city. Buildings caught fire. Snipers occupied rooftops, and artillery fire reduced entire streets to rubble. Frost's men were forced into brutal urban combat, fighting house by house, room by room, and window by window. Some soldiers fired from burning buildings simply because there was nowhere else to take cover. For 4 continuous days, they held their positions, rapidly running out of ammunition and food. Every hour, they waited for help that failed to show up. By September 21st, the exhausted defenders were out of options. The Rhine remained uncrossed, and the bridge remained firmly in German hands. The operation demanded a single clear road, a strict timetable, and the assumption that German resistance would simply collapse. Every one of those assumptions proved false. The military objective failed, suddenly abandoning the Dutch civilians to the immediate consequences. Most military histories stop here. The Dutch story does not. After Market Garden failed, the Western Netherlands remained trapped under German occupation. In response to a railway strike called by the Dutch government in exile, German authorities retaliated heavily. They restricted all food transport into the region, engineering a devastating famine. Families were forced to survive on sugar beets and tulip bulbs. Children went to bed hungry for months, and parents dismantled their own furniture just to burn for warmth as their cities slowly ran out of food. The winter of 1944 became known as the Hunger Winter. Before the spring thaw, approximately 22,000 Dutch civilians died from starvation and related causes. The Allies lost a strategic battle at Arnhem. The Dutch people lost a horrific, devastating winter. Yet, even in the darkest months, ordinary civilians took extreme risks. Farmers guided escape routes, families hid wounded soldiers, and doctors treated paratroopers in secret, all knowing they faced execution if caught. The survivors never forgot these acts of defiance. Decades later, British veterans continued returning to thank the families who saved them, a bond honored every September at memorials in the Netherlands. Looking back at that September afternoon, at a child watching parachutes fill the sky, that brief hope carries the heavy knowledge of the starvation that followed. The battle lasted 9 days. The Allied push failed because Market Garden demanded absolute perfection, and war rarely provides perfection. Today, history remembers Arnhem simply as a bridge too far. While military history books focus on the strategic collapse of a massive offensive, the true legacy is the devastating winter endured by the people of the Netherlands.